When Cadillac first revealed the Optiq, I figured it would be a stylish new entry into the luxury EV space, but I didn't expect it to feel this good. After a week behind the wheel of this 2025, I can honestly say this is one of the best Cadillacs I've driven in a while, and maybe the most Cadillac-like Cadillac I've driven in a long time. It's smooth, refined, packed with useful tech, and priced well below what I expected. In a market full of expensive and sometimes gimmicky EVs, the Optiq delivers real value with a true luxury experience. I'm Adam, this is TexasGarage. Let's take a closer look. Before we jump into the trims of this model, I just wanted to talk quickly about the lineup of Cadillac EVs and the naming that they have here. So you have the big dog, the Escalade IQ, which naming obviously makes sense there. You have the Vist IQ or Vistiq. You have the Lyric. You have the Optiq and the Celestiq or Celeste IQ. I think the whole ending everything in IQ or this eek sound is a bit over the top, and they should come up with more traditional names, in my opinion. Let's talk about the Optiq, though. All right, and the Optiq is going to come in 4 trims, technically. Right now, we really only have 2. You have the Luxury 1 and the Luxury 2. This is the Luxury 2, so it's basically the top of the line you can get in the Optiq. But Cadillac has also already announced that we will be getting 2 sporty variants of the Optiq. You're going to get the Sport 1 and Sport 2. But those are going to be coming later this year or the beginning of the next year. So again, what we're driving here is the Luxury 2, basically top of the line. Everything that you get with the Luxury 1, but you have some special interior options. We're going to dive all into it, but let's first talk about the exterior design. The 2025 Optiq is a sharp-looking EV that managed to feel both modern and unmistakably Cadillac. From first glance, its proportions stand out. This is a compact SUV with a confident stance. Thanks to its wide track, pushed-out wheels, and clean body lines. Compared to many rounded-off EV designs on the market, the Optiq strikes a nice balance between athletic and elegant. Up front, the signature black crystal grille with laser etched detailing gives the Optiq a distinctive face, flanked by Cadillac's now familiar vertical LED signature lighting. On this Luxury 2 trim, the crystal white tricoat paint really makes these details pop, especially against the contrasting black roof and Vader chrome mirror caps. A subtle but upscale touch. When you approach the vehicle, Cadillac's lighting choreography greets you with an animated light show, giving it a bit of occasion every time you get in. The side profile leans slightly fastback, but this is still very much an SUV silhouette. Cadillac designers took pride in small details here. For example, the rear quarter window uses an etched pattern inspired by the Mondrian crest, giving a nod to Cadillac's design heritage. This vehicle also features Cadillac's puddle lamps, which project the brand logo onto the ground while entering or exiting. A fun party trick that adds a premium feel. Around back, the integrated vented rear spoiler and sculpted rear diffuser elements enhance aerodynamic performance without making the Optiq look overly aggressive. It rides on 20-inch wheels, standard in luxury trim, with 21-inch optional. Overall, this vehicle looks like a proper Cadillac. Modern, confident, and more youthful than some of the brand's larger SUVs. In this Luxury 2 spec with the white and black contrast, it really hits a sweet spot between luxury and everyday usability. Around back, the Optiq offers a practical and well-finished hatch area that fits nicely in the vehicle's everyday luxury vibe. Open the power liftgate with a quick tap on the Cadillac logo. And yes, it took me way too long to figure that out. And you'll find 26 cubic feet of cargo space behind the second row, one of the best figures in the segment. Fold the rear seat flat, and that expands to a generous 57 cubic feet of total cargo volume, giving the Optiq plenty of flexibility for everything from weekend getaways to larger grocery runs. The hatch itself opens wide, and the load floor is low and flat, making it easy to slide in heavier items. With its roomy rear seats and useful cargo capacity, the Optiq feels well suited to family use or anyone looking for EV practicality without stepping up to a much larger SUV. Under the skin, the Optiq rides on GM's Ultium EV platform, shared with the Chevrolet Equinox EV and other new generation GM EVs, all of which I have driven and reviewed. Power comes from a dual motor all-wheel drive setup that delivers a Cadillac estimated 300 horsepower and 354 pound-feet of torque. This is plenty of power for a compact luxury SUV, and on the road, the Optiq feels smooth and confident with instant seamless acceleration that makes it easy to dart through city traffic or merge onto highways. Cadillac has tuned the Optiq for an isolated, refined driving feel, and it largely delivers on this promise. The power comes on progressively, and the ride is tuned for comfort first, rather than outright sportiness, a choice that fits perfectly with the brand's luxury positioning. While some EVs in the segment lean towards a harsher ride in pursuit of handling, the Optiq strikes a more balanced tone. And if you do want to tailor the experience a bit, Cadillac includes multiple drive modes, including Tour, Sport, Snow and Ice, and a My mode, which lets you personalize the settings for steering and braking. Feeding the motors is an 85 kilowatt hour usable Ultium battery pack that supports an EPA estimated 302 miles of range, a very competitive figure in this class. On my test, I found the charging experience seamless, especially using Cadillac's Tesla adapter to access the wider supercharging network from Tesla. Cadillac officially quotes up to 79 miles of range added in just about 10 minutes via DC fast charging and roughly 55 miles per hour of charge on a level 2 AC charger at 19.2 kilowatts. For home use, the Optiq comes with a dual level charge cord, allowing you to plug into a 240 volt outlet or a regular 120 volt outlet for slower overnight top-offs. And it's a true road trip capable EV, which can't be said for every luxury competitor in this segment. Step inside the Optiq and you're greeted with something that feels distinctively Cadillac, luxurious, stylish, and very comfortable to be in. The design leans more youthful with layered materials, dramatic lighting accents, and plenty of visual interest. On my Luxury 2 test vehicle, the Autumn Canyon interior adds a rich, earthy tone that contrasted nicely with the white exterior. If there's a downside, it's that the mix of materials, soft touch trim, patterned fabric, wood veneer, and metallic accents can feel a bit busy. I personally like the character it brings, but some buyers may prefer a simpler aesthetic. Front and center, we have a 33-inch curved LED display that stretches from behind the steering wheel to the center of the dash. The resolution is stunning. Cadillac claims 9K resolution, and this display serves up crisp gauges, navigation, media, and vehicle controls. The system runs on Google built-in software, so Google Maps and Assistant are fully integrated with excellent voice recognition. The system is very snappy and intuitive, especially after having driven the Chevy EVs that use a similar interface. But in this one, you do get an extra display to the left of the steering wheel that has some extra controls. And the layout on the center display is a bit different. You still don't get Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, which is a bit of a letdown. But again, the Google integration is pretty solid. The 19-speaker AKG audio system with Dolby Atmos rounds out the technical experience, delivering rich, immersive sound, whether you're streaming music or enjoying a podcast on a long drive. The seats are also heated, cooled, and massaging, which is really nice. And you've got the automatic adjustments here on the door with some pre-programmed settings. All really great. Another quirky thing on the interior, we were looking for the glove box open button. And after the kids couldn't find it trying to mess around on the side, I said it's probably buried in the menu somewhere. And sure enough, you hit controls and you have glove box release. Ta-da! Rear seat space is another clear win for the Optiq. Cadillac claims segment best second row legroom, and it shows. At 37.8 inches, the rear legroom gives adult passengers plenty of stretch out space, and the seat cushions are well contoured for comfort on longer trips. Headroom is good with the fixed glass roof, and the wide cabin means 3 passengers can fit across the rear bench without too much squeeze. For my test week, I had no complaints from backseat riders. I jumped back there. I'm 6'1", a bit of a bigger guy. Headroom was a little tight, but everything else was no issues at all. We, of course, also have the panoramic sunroof. Which is nice and big and goes all the way through the back seats. With that, let's get into the drive. On the road, the 2025 Cadillac Optiq delivers the kind of driving experience I want from a luxury EV. Smooth, quiet, and easygoing, with just enough athleticism to keep things interesting. I spent time with the Optiq across a mix of typical Texas driving scenarios. Everything from open rural roads to dense city streets to a few miles of rougher back roads, and it handled them all with confidence. On rural 2-lane highways outside the city, the Optiq felt right at home. The dual motor all-wheel drive system provides plenty of power for quick passing maneuvers, and the ride quality is impressively composed. Cadillac's chassis tuning favors comfort, soaking up expansion joints and rougher patches without transmitting harshness to the cabin. The steering is light, and I personally would like it a bit more weighted, but switching into sport mode helps dial in a touch more feedback for those sweeping back road curves. In urban driving, the Optiq's compact dimensions make it easy to maneuver through tight streets and parking garages. Visibility is excellent all around, and the Cadillac's 360 camera system offers crisp, clear views when navigating tricky parking situations. The instant torque of the dual motors makes stop-and-go traffic almost fun. It's satisfying to surge away from a stoplight with no drama and no engine noise. One pedal driving also comes in handy here, letting you modulate speed smoothly without constantly moving from accelerator to brake. I even put the Optiq through a few miles of unimproved back road where it handled itself better than you might expect. The all-wheel drive system gives good traction on loose dirt and gravel, and the chassis remained composed even when the surface got choppy. Of course, this isn't a hardcore off-roader, but for reaching a remote campsite or taking on a dirt road shortcut, it'll do just fine. Where the Optiq truly shines is on the highway, especially with Super Cruise engaged. Cadillac's hands-free driver assist system continues to be one of the best in the business. On a long stretch of I-20, I let the Optiq take over, and it tracked straight and true mile after mile. The system uses precision GPS mapping and a driver attention monitor to ensure safety, and it even handles gentle curves and lane centering with ease. One note, I found the automatic lane change feature a bit too eager, sometimes initiating lane changes more often than I would like, or I would choose manually. So after driving with GM's Super Cruise on a lot of different occasions now, I typically get in and disable the auto lane change and use it in the turn signal activated lane change mode instead, which gives me a bit more control while still benefiting from hands-free operation. Overall, Super Cruise makes long highway drives feel effortless and adds real value to the Optiq's driving experience. All right, let's talk about the price of this thing, because when I got in this thing and jumped in it for the first time, My impressions were it was going to be an expensive vehicle. It's obviously a Cadillac. EVs are always way more expensive than just the traditional gas versions of vehicles. So I'm in this thinking it's around $75,000 to $80,000 at this trim level, and I didn't do a lot of research going into this. But the base price for one of these things is $54,000, and this one at the top of the line that it is just over $61,000, which I think is a great price for everything that you get here and really holds its own in the segment. And when we're talking about competitors, there are a nice list of luxury crossovers kind of in this category. I've really only driven one of them, which is the EQB, which for a Mercedes is also a pretty good price, but it is a lot cheaper feeling and interior than what you might expect from Mercedes. The price range on that ranges from $61,000 to $70,000, similarly equipped. Then you get into some of the vehicles that I personally haven't driven, including the Volvo XC40 Recharge, which is about $54,000 to $65,000. BMW in the States doesn't really have anything that competes with this. They have the iX, which I have driven, but it's a bigger vehicle than this and much more pricey, getting into the $100,000 mark. Audi has the Q4 e-tron. Again, I haven't driven it yet. And of course, you always have to look at the Tesla Model Y, which again, I haven't driven, but there's a lot of content out there and it's a really solid choice, but definitely not as luxurious as something like this. With that, let's jump out. I'll give you some of my final thoughts. After a week with the 2025 Cadillac Optiq, I came away impressed and honestly a little surprised. This is one of the best driving, most well-rounded Cadillacs I've experienced in a while. It's a genuine luxury vehicle with smooth power, standout tech like Super Cruise, and a price point that makes it one of the better values in today's premium EV market. No, it's not perfect. The interior design might be a bit busy for some, and the steering feel could use a little bit more weight, but overall, Cadillac nails the formula here. If you're shopping for a luxury EV and you want something that feels distinctively Cadillac without a six-figure price tag, the Optiq deserves a serious look. With that, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the Cadillac Optiq. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We do a different review every week. Also check out TXGarage.com, where we've got a lot of written reviews as well as event and news coverage from a lot of great authors over there, not just myself. With that, that's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching.